up, everybody? How you doing? Good afternoon, and it's 2:05 Eastern Time. Yep, absolutely. Thank you for the assist, Mom. Make sure that you guys hit the like button, hit subscribe, all of that stuff. And we're going to give again a couple of minutes. We'll get some business out of the way while people kind of filter in here to do the live stream. And then we'll go over the amazing mental gymnastics that the media has undergone from last night to today. Because it really was a very quick turnaround and change of opinion in mass for leftists and the media. So we'll get to all of that. Again, friendly reminder, like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon on YouTube to get notifications when I go live or upload a new video. You can follow or subscribe on Twitch, and of course you can follow along on Facebook and Twitter. And again, at Casey the Host on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, at RealCaseyH on Twitter /Periscope. It has been an interesting day. I say that a lot lately, but it's true. It really has been an interesting day. I'll also go over what happened with me and Facebook a little bit earlier today, and we have some answers as to what happened to the live stream yesterday. In the middle of the stream, there was a pretty big glitch, and we kind of know what happened now. What's up, Jackie? How you doing? I got Frank. Frank's in North Carolina right now, so at least that's North Carolina. Cool. What's up, Sam? See Rhonda, Linda, Darren. See Melissa, John, Jackie, and Indiana SB. Steve, Paul, Captain Confusion. I got Daniel in here as well. Got a bunch of people in here. So, and most people never even comment. So, hey, what's up, Jimtown? How you doing? Most people don't comment. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Yeah, Facebook is working right now. We'll see what ends up happening a little bit later on in the program. It's kind of interesting to watch all of this kind of play out. Let's see. Okay, so Warren, true story. Yesterday, man, I got scared. So yesterday, I wasn't out today, but yesterday when I was riding the motorcycle, and I have an Indian Scout, for those of you who don't know, I was on the motorcycle, and I actually went on some of the faster roads, like County Road 6, things like that, so I can get up to like 55 and 60. And so I'm riding. There's a couple of times where it kind of pushes you, and it's like, I don't know. And I got a gust of wind, dude. I swear to God, my front wheel went. It scared the hell out of me. But all was good. So, but yeah, that was a little scary. My helmet is the bigger problem than the motorcycle, though. The helmet is not very aerodynamic. And I'm gonna get a different helmet, which is less aerodynamic but looks cooler. So. Eventually, I'll get one that's really meant for high speeds, but I don't do a lot of high-speed riding, so it's really not a big deal for me right now. Yeah, man, it was close. It was really close. Closer than it has been since the middle of summer last year. There was one day where I was riding all day, and I got hit in a really bad windstorm and scared the hell out of me. But, yeah, this was not that bad. It was just a gust came out of nowhere, but... easily correctable, felt worse than it really was. It's just one of those things where anytime the bike moves, when you don't move it, it just kind of freaks you out. And yeah, it's a pretty windy day today over here. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now that most people are kind of floating in here, and we usually, we'll get another 40 or 50 of you probably by the time that we're half hour into this thing. But I wanted to go ahead and kind of talk about the president's order. So the president has now said that well, I'll just read you the tweet. In light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. Which, for a lot of people who have been paying attention to all of this, we're kind of looking at this like, what took so long to get this done? Everybody has basically been saying that we should stop immigration at this point. And that includes leftists and centrists and people on the right. Everybody has been saying this. So it's kind of interesting to watch this. And then if you hop over to Twitter, I mean, here's the thing. For those of you who are leftists or liberals, because they're two different things, whatever you identify as, you have to understand something. You're extremely predictable. We always know what you're going to do before you do it, because this is one of the reasons that we call you NPCs, non-playable characters, because your code is just written. You can't deviate from the code. Whatever the code is, that's what you will do. And if you try to deviate from it, you have a meltdown. It doesn't really work out. Not all of you, obviously, but for the vast majority of you. And we knew exactly where this was going to go. So the president comes out there and he says, I'm going to go ahead and stop immigration to the United States in the middle of this coronavirus. And immediately, so I'm just going to go put this up here. This is Scott Pressler. I would love to see the mental gymnastics that Democrats are going through right now. Americans need to stay home versus immigrants need to come to America. President Trump is a genius. And it was, folks, it was instantaneous, okay? Pressler was 100% right. We all knew it was going to happen, and boom, then you get stuff like this. He's a monstrous xenophobe. But he's doing this because he knows this coronavirus response has been so badly mishandled. No, it hasn't. They've lied about his handling of it. We've already gone over that a million times. Let's see. More people are holding him accountable for the U.S. having the most coronavirus cases and deaths in the world. That's a spin. We'll get to that here in a second. So what does he do? He attacks immigrants. He didn't attack immigrants. He's offering to save immigrants. So in one tweet, this is how you know they don't think things through, right? So they go out there and they post this. There was this op-ed the other day, and this op-ed, hold on a second. I got to pull this up, sorry. Op-ed. Because this is just it's a great illustration of what I talk about with the press all the time. And where did it go? Hopefully I can find this real quick. No, that looks like I can't find it. Oh, I haven't done the Land O'Lakes story yet. Oh, that's crazy. All right, so anyway, there was this op-ed that was basically talking about what's her bucket in Georgia who thinks that she's the governor down there, and she only lost because of voter suppression in spite of the fact that record numbers of minorities voted in that election. And in this op-ed that like her former campaign chief or whatever was writing, they said that like there's voter suppression, that's why she lost, but at the same time we had record numbers of minorities voting. Which one is it? Because you can't have both in that particular scenario. And we know that there wasn't voter suppression in Georgia anyway, but I digress. So we go ahead and we look at the hypocrisy there. So this Neera Tanden lady, and she makes a ruckus every now and then. So she goes out there and she basically says America is a bleep hole country. We've got the most coronavirus cases everywhere and the most deaths everywhere. Okay, Neera, then why on earth would you want immigrants to come here and be put at risk? The president's just trying to save those sweet little immigrants from getting the virus and dying in horrible America, where the virus is running rampant and we have a terrible leader who's not doing anything to fight out the virus and is ignoring the experts and all of that other stuff. But she doesn't realize that she contradicted herself in her own tweet because she's too outraged. And again, this is just that visceral reaction tweet that we have out there. I'm not going to think about what I say. I'm just going to say a bunch of stuff. And leftists are famous for saying both things, okay? If it's hot outside, it's global warming. If it's cold outside, it's global warming. If there's more tornadoes than normal, it's global warming. If there's less tornadoes than normal, it's global warming. The president is either acting too strong against China or he's too weak against China. If you say both things on the opposite spectrum at the same time, then whichever one ends up being true, you get to take credit for. And so that's what liberals and leftists are. Yeah, thank you, Stacey Abrams Operos. Appreciate that. I always forget her name because she's forgettable. So anyway, you always have this. This is what leftists do regularly. They just say both things out in an outrage at both of them. And whichever one that ends up being true, they just say, see, I told you I was right. Because one of the two is going to be true. So it's kind of like when you go and you're betting on the Super Bowl, but you put money on both teams, right? You win either way, but if one of the teams wins, you're going to get a lot more money, okay? So that's kind of what is happening here. So she doesn't even realize it. She just talks about how terrible the leadership is in this country, how they're not doing anything to save people's lives. People are dying left and right. It's the worst in the country, or in the world, excuse me. And how dare President Trump not want immigrants to come here? He's just trying to save their lives. That's all he's doing. And Jim Jordan was asked about this by Shannon Bream on Fox News. I want to go ahead and play you Jim Jordan. This is what Jim Jordan had to say about all of this, and he's spot on.
No, I didn't, but I think it's common sense. A couple things. One, it's temporary, as you pointed out, Shannon. Two, I mean, think about this. At a time when Americans are being told to stay at home, it kind of makes sense that we're not going to let new people into the country, particularly at the very moment when we're trying to restart our economy and prevent any new hotspots and new outbreaks from happening. So I view this as common sense. I think most Americans are going to view it as common sense. Of course, the left, like Eric Swalwell, they're going to go crazy. But think about what they proposed during this pandemic, Shannon. They said they want to release illegal immigrants. They said they want to pay states. There's actually been a bill introduced. Pay states to let criminals out of jail early. They said abortion clinics are, essential businesses, and they've said you can't purchase a firearm and you can't go to church. So that's their kind of radical position. So they're going to go crazy on this. But I think most Americans are going to see it for what it is, which is just good common sense.
Exactly. Like I said, most people looked at this and said, wow, why would we do that anyway? It does a couple of different things. One, it prevents some of these third world countries which do not have the health standards that we have. And for the record, just to address something else that Neera Tanden was talking about when she says we're the worst in the world, which is not true, by the way. A lot of these third world countries, when they have been asked why their numbers are so low, they have responded. There was this president in Africa responding. He goes, "We don't have any tests, so nobody has it." That's the reality, okay? In a lot of these places, they don't have any testing. And they, if you think that our ability to properly register how many people actually have this virus is bad, you should go to some of these third world countries where they have nothing to be able to register if people have the virus or not. And the idea that you wouldn't want to risk some of these places that are behind us in getting the virus, which means, we're more advanced in the virus than they are. They're just starting their outbreaks, whereas we're approaching the end of ours. That you would want to bring them back in to have a potential second wave. That makes absolutely no sense. Unless, of course, you want there to be a second wave, and then you can still hold it against Trump. So then you can go ahead and blame him for reopening the country and all this other stuff. And now, some people might think that's a little tinfoily, but that's exactly how that story would be spun, whether it's an intentional position to have or if they're just professionally outraged at anything that the president does. But the reality of the situation is, if immigrants did bring in a second wave of this virus, without a doubt, U.S. media would blame the president for opening up the country. No doubt about that. By the way, Denver says that they're going to open. Georgia's announced that they're going to be opening here at the end of the week. So we're starting to see more and more places announce that they're going to be opening up. And there will be a little bit of a flare-up in the virus. That is natural. We expect that to happen. And there will be, of course, reports on, see, we told you there was going to be a second wave. Well, there usually is a second and a third wave. The question is, what degree is that going to be? And will the second wave end up being something that, it really causes a problem for the hospitals? The first wave wasn't, and they were afraid that that would be the case. And so we'll see if the second wave does that. And, of course, we have a lot of things going for us that we didn't have going for us in 1918. And one of those things is, well, it's not 1918. This is 100 years later, okay? So 100 years later, 100 years of advanced technology, advanced medical care, the ability to remotely communicate with one another, to keep distance, to have things delivered as opposed to having to go to the store or the markets and things of that nature. And we don't have a world war to deal with, which caused the spread of the second wave to be so bad. It was troop movements in World War I that were the big factor with that. So we don't have all of those things to deal with right now. So the likelihood of there being a second wave as bad as 1918 are very, very low. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but then you have epidemiologists all over the world saying we need herd immunity here. We need to let this virus burn through and protect the vulnerable population as much as possible, isolate them as much as possible, let everybody else kind of get exposed to the virus so we have that herd immunity kind of working for us. And there's a lot of that. I'll talk about Sweden today on the radio program. I won't be able to do it on the live stream. So it's really interesting just to watch everybody, and I went ahead and I want to go ahead and pull this up because I had just made some observations on Twitter myself. Let's see. I mean, this pretty much sums it up, You got Hunter Biden. Okay, I didn't mean to do the Hunter Biden thing. The media on Sunday, Trump is scapegoating innocent China on the virus because he's a racist xenophobe. On Monday, Trump rolled over for China to hide how bad the virus was. That's all because Joe Biden told them to say that. And then it went from Monday, on Monday, nobody was allowed to leave their house. Okay, nobody should leave their house or go outside. And then on Tuesday morning, how dare the president not let immigrants leave their house and go outside to come to the United States? It's silly, okay? But the mental gymnastics are there, and they will do anything. It doesn't matter what he does. Like I said, this is the case. We've seen it over and over again, and the goalpost will continue to be moved until November 4th. That's just politics for you. No matter what, everything is going to be about beating him on November 3rd, and then on November 4th, either he will have lost or he will have won, and then they will have to pivot to something else, and we'll stop hearing about this. But the country is going to start to reopen. So we will have some flare-ups with the virus. Of course, we've had some flare-ups here this past week because the CDC's new guidelines on what is and is not to be counted in those numbers. So that's it's important to keep all of that in perspective when you're talking about this. That's just it, Tommy. No tests, no virus. Perfect. But that's true. I forget what the president of which country. It was in Africa. I forget which president said that. But they had asked him, why don't you have any cases? He said, it's simple. We don't have the test. we have no ability to test for this at all. And you'd have to assume that some of these third world countries that are sending people across our borders, by the way, one of those countries was China. Okay? A lot of Chinese came across the southern border during the outbreak. And they did so fleeing it. And we talked about that story when it happened back in, I think that was in February. So anyway, Oktoberfest has been canceled. That sucks. That's a bummer. I mean, at this point in time, you're going to see a lot of things in the summer and the fall get canceled, even if we're going to be open at the time. One is they're probably just assuming that people are going to be afraid and stay away anyway. The other thing is you have to plan those events now. Like we're in the planning phase of noise, and we just had a meeting about it. Was it the last week, I think? And it's, all of these months, the Lincoln Day dinner for the St. Joseph County Republican Party that I'm emceeing, that thing has been pushed back a couple of times. So everything is being planned right now, and if you can't plan right now, you may end up canceling your event. So there's a lot of that's going to happen. And then, of course, there's going to be the fear that people are just going to be afraid and they're going to stay away from it. All right. Nothing better than a disliked government decision to bring Americans together to protest. That's a funny thing, too, because, Gretchen Whitmer is out there saying that she's going to, she may have to extend the order because of the protesters. There's a handful of protesters that got out of their car, but most protesters were in their cars, socially distanced and self-isolated. So, the notion that the protesters have jeopardized the entire state of Michigan is ridiculous. And I would also like to point out that the members of the press who are trying to say that these are Trump supporters who are protesting the stay-at-home orders, that's not what this is about. People weren't protesting when they were staying at home. People started protesting when Gretchen Whitmer told them they couldn't buy seeds to grow food in their gardens and couldn't buy car seats and couldn't go to their family's house and things like that for the holidays. That's what people were protesting against. It was the overreach of those stay-at-home orders. It wasn't the stay-at-home orders themselves. Half Whitmer was going to extend the lockdown. Well, that's true. I mean, she's just using this as an excuse. She was already saying that she was considering extending it through May. She was saying that before the protest was ever announced. Again, one of the reasons that the protest was spurred on. Let's see. Grid Life got rescheduled to October. Man, everything's getting moved. Well, let's see. We had like 3 events canceled. Maybe 4 events canceled that I know of just from my radio station. So, man. All right. So what do we got here? Can your underground wet market survive this? It's a good question, David. Good question. All right. So the other thing that ended up happening to me today was on Facebook. So yesterday during the radio show, we were playing the audio clip, the video clip, I guess, of Dan Crenshaw just completely owning Bill Maher. And Dan Crenshaw gave you the same timeline that I've been giving you for months, well, not months, but weeks now. And Dan Crenshaw broke it all down. Of course, he's a member of Congress, and he's there for all of this stuff. And when Bill Maher goes out there and he's repeating a lot of the debunked claims in the timeline, Dan Crenshaw was correcting him on that. And then what ended up happening is, as I'm playing this, and I'm responding to somebody who had hopped on and was screaming and cussing like a child, I was trying to respond to them, and all of a sudden I couldn't. So it went from all of a sudden just a bunch of stuff wasn't working. Facebook wasn't working. Periscope wasn't working. Some people said there's some glitches on Twitch, but other people said Twitch was fine. Regardless, we know that something definitely happened with Facebook. And I didn't know what it was. I thought it was maybe just a software glitch, which occasionally happens, especially if my software needs an update. Well, the software didn't need an update. I logged on to Facebook this morning, and I found that my live stream yesterday had been totally blocked. And it turns out that they shut the live stream down in the middle of the stream yesterday because HBO was saying that I was committing copyright infringement by having a clip from Real Time with Bill Maher. Now, for those of you who don't know copyright law, I was providing commentary on something, and it is fair use, okay? I am allowed to play that clip and provide commentary on it. And it seems like that wasn't an algorithmic issue. It seems like that was a targeted issue, like somebody either reported it or saw it and put an end to it. So that ended up happening yesterday. That's what happened to the stream, and that's why all of a sudden we weren't getting Facebook communication and everything else. My Facebook videos almost always have like 1,300 views on them, and yesterday's has like 200, okay? So they just shut it down about 20 minutes after we started the live stream, and again, it's one of those things where if it is a clip that you're supporting Bill Maher on and it isn't going to embarrass Bill Maher or HBO, they'll let you play it all day long. The moment it's a clip that paints Bill Maher in a negative light because he clearly got owned by Dan Crenshaw, they will go ahead and try to take it down as much as possible to to go ahead and clog the bleeding, if you will. So that's what ended up happening with that yesterday. So out of giggles, I've been kind of wondering if I could do this. So I'm verified on Twitter now, and you all know about my battles with Twitter to get verified over the years. And they banned my previous account. I came back. My company requested that I get back on Twitter. So I got back on Twitter, and the company submitted all of us to Twitter to get verified, and so I got verified. And I went ahead and I'm like, well, I'm already verified on Twitter. My radio station is now verified on Facebook. I would like to get verified on Facebook and Instagram. And so I go ahead and I fill out the forms again. Now, you have to understand something. For numerous years now, I have met the requirements to be verified by Facebook. So Facebook has a guideline on, the whole list of things that have to happen for you to be able to be verified. I have met those qualifications for years, okay? So they've never had an excuse to say that I shouldn't be verified. But now, if I'm verified by another platform and the radio station that I work for is verified on their platform, then surely they would verify me, right? No. It was an instant denial. I've never seen anything like it. Usually when I submit my request to Facebook, I have to wait like 30, 40 minutes, and then they deny me, right? So I submitted the request, gave them my driver's license like they request, sent them my verified Twitter account, sent them the verified Facebook account for my radio station, did all of that stuff, and it was an instantaneous denial. So I uploaded the form, I hit submit, and it took me to the ticket page, the support ticket page, and it had it already closed out as declined. Okay? Like that. I didn't wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, none of that. It was an instantaneous decline. I hit submit, it refreshed the page, closed, decline. Now, they didn't give a reason, so I came back about a half hour later, and I refreshed the page, and then they gave me a reason which said, unfortunately, we can't verify your account at this time, and please continue to grow your online presence, which seems to suggest I don't have enough followers on my Facebook page, which is, what am I, 84, 8,500 or something like that. I don't have enough followers on my Facebook page to be able to get verified, except that's not true. If you do a search for verified pages on Facebook, you see a bunch of people with 1,000 likes, you see a bunch of people with 5,000 likes, a bunch of people with 8,000 likes. All of these people have less than me, and they're all verified. Okay, so clearly it's not the lack of likes on my Facebook page. It's just that Facebook doesn't want to verify me. And the fact that it was an instantaneous denial tells you everything you need to know. They didn't even bother to look at it or review it. It was just instantaneous. And again, a lot of people will say, look, the verification is an ego thing. Sure, there's a little bit of that. But what it does help me do on Twitter in particular is it helps me network with people in my industry. So a lot of people that might want to do an interview or might want to be interviewed or something of that nature, they will now be more apt to respond to my comments, my requests, that sort of thing. So it really does, it helps in that regard. So from a professional aspect, it helps me network, okay? Now, is it a big deal for followers? Not really. It really isn't. There's a little bit of an ego thing there, but without a doubt. 25, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if only that stuff really truly worked though, Alex. I mean, when I had real likes on my Twitter page, they took 12 or 13,000 of them away. So so it doesn't work. I think that you can actually get banned for that now, for buying likes and stuff. But yeah, it's bonkers to see that. And see, here's the thing. So with Parler, you have to pay to be verified. So, because I wanted to get verified on, well, Parler has like a little, yes, I'm sorry, not Parler, Gab was the one you had to pay. So Parler they verified that I was an authentic person, but they didn't verify that I was like a member of the press, you know what I mean? Because they have different verifications. But yeah, Parler did it pretty quick. I was happy about that. I really hate Gab's system. Gab's system annoys me. You have to pay them money to be verified, and that's not okay. Either you're worth being verified and you meet the qualifications, or you don't. So again, it is what it is. I knew that they were going to deny me, but I figured if I'm verified elsewhere, my radio station is verified, why not try it? And it was an instantaneous denial. So they were not interested at all in verifying my accounts on either Instagram or Facebook. And Facebook is my biggest social media platform. So, I mean, Twitter used to be, but Twitter was, again, banned. So I had to, my new Twitter account doesn't even have 1,000 people on it yet. Yeah, I think that I think the Gab model is bad, but I also, from their perspective, I kind of understand why they're doing it, because they have been censored everywhere. So, for Gab, if you, like, even my Instapaper, if I save a Gab link in Instapaper refuses to open it. So I can't even save a link that they have from another website. So if they save something from the Washington Post and I just happen to see it on Gab and save that link, Instapaper will not allow me to open that. So they've had their servers shut down, they're censored everywhere. I can kind of understand them going to some kind of a monetized platform, but I just don't like the way Gab does business at this point in time. Maybe one day that'll change. I don't know. I think they do a really good job at developing tools. I like their YouTube tool. Their browser is a pretty cool browser, and I think that their news aggregator is a good service. So they do a good job on some of that stuff. As far as the social media platform aspect of it, I just don't get a lot out of it. Yeah, again, getting kicked out of both app stores, getting blocked on social media, they're blocked everywhere. So I can get where they would have to get creative and try and figure out what they're doing. But this is a reminder too with what's happening with Facebook. So I'm demonetized on YouTube. I've been banned on Twitter, and again, I'm a radio host. I have an FCC broadcast license. I'm FCC friendly. The government has deemed me okay to broadcast. And very rarely will you ever hear a curse word out of my mouth, even on the live streams, right? So I don't do anything that would be bannable, right? Under any pretext of what bannable content is. So they've still demonetized me. They've banned me on Twitter. They've shadow banned me on Facebook in the past. And now, of course, Facebook is back to censoring my videos. For those of you who don't know, one of the reasons that I stopped doing the Friday Facebook Live is Facebook shadow banned me. And I went from having thousands of views per video to having dozens. And it was the same content. So it got to the point where I'm not going to waste resources streaming to Facebook if they're not going to go ahead and allow my content to be seen anyway. And I had a bunch of people on Facebook tell me that they couldn't see the videos until long after they were posted. So it was just one of those things. But people have been requesting that I come back and do Facebook videos when I started doing the Quarantine Corner, so I did. And it was going great until yesterday. Yesterday was the first hiccup. And I expect once the first hiccup happens, you're going to have more of those. So it's a further reminder of why I'm going to the premium stuff next week. So here's what you got to do. Go to podbean.com, okay? Sign up for a free account. If you prefer, just download the free Podbean app in your app store and sign up on the mobile app instead. Find me, Casey the Host, okay? It's caseythehost.podbean.com, or you can just search for Casey the Host or Casey Hendrickson, whatever you want to do. You'll find me. And make sure you follow me on Podbean. That's where my podcasts are all hosted anyway. But that's where my premium content is going to be starting next week. So if you wanted to get these videos every single day, then you can go ahead and subscribe to the premium content. I'll do one free video every week. That all starts next week. This is your last free week. So go to podbean.com, sign up for a free account, follow me at Casey the Host, and then next week, make sure that you're signed up for one of the premium services, and then you can be able to get access to all of the premium content. We've got some pretty cool giveaways that are going to be happening too. And the higher the tier, the nicer the giveaway is going to end up being, that sort of thing. So everybody's going to be able to win something. But if you just wanted access to the premium content, didn't want any prizes or anything like that, it's $2, big deal. If you wanted to have some extra gifts and opportunities to win some better items, then the higher dollar point subscription plans are where you're going to want to be at. So again, CaseyTheHost.podbean.com. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. And all of that stuff is going to be on Podbean. It's not going to be on here, okay? Wherever you're watching. It's not going to be here. It's going to be on Podbean.com. I do want to thank SilverFoxArt.com, because SilverFoxArt.com actually made it possible for me to do the premium service. They're the ones that funded the package. So SilverFoxArt.com, amazing artwork, and you'll see a picture of what they made for me at the end of this stream. They do wood artwork, three-dimensional backlit wood artwork that is just phenomenal. When you go to their website, you're going to see some amazing stuff. And I also have a coupon code for you. So if you use coupon code BananaFace25 and you put that in the subject line when you make your inquiry to SilverFoxArt.com, you'll be able to get yourself a nice little discount. They also have a 10% off discount for veterans. So if you're a veteran and you go to SilverFoxArt.com, make sure you let them know that. You'll be able to get a 10% off discount because you're a listener and a veteran who served the country. So again, SilverFoxArt.com, thank you very much for sponsoring the Quarantine Corner. And any last questions, any comments, anything like that I can go ahead and address before I get on out of here? Yes, podbean.com. Daniel, right above you, Frank, posted a link. So that's it. And that is a totally free app. That's where I listen to the vast majority of my podcasts, but it's also where I host my podcast, okay? So I already host my podcast there. This will allow me to do live shows exclusively for premium subscribers, video streams for premium subscribers, and all of that. So it's going to be pretty cool. Let's see. What has SBCSC saved by being... Okay, so, I mean, look, was it you, Mike, that was telling me that you thought that they were saving like $16 million? And I can't find that story, dude. I looked on SBT's website. I cannot find it. I can absolutely help you with the zoning on your wet markets, 100%. They require no zoning, and all you have to do is have like basically a lemonade stand, but it has to be in your backyard. And as long as it's in your backyard and not your front yard, you're good. William ordered something from Silver Fox? Awesome. Very cool. Very cool, William. When you see the stuff that he has working right now, you guys are going to be blown away. I mean, his work is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You're going to ask a stupid question. If we sign up for the Podbean thing, can we still watch your live stream? Yeah, of course. So, Kathy, what I'm going to do is I am going to have one free live stream just like you're watching right now every week. Okay? I don't know what day that's going to be on. I have to figure that out. But I'm going to do one free one for everybody. Now, Gavin McGinnis does this. Steven Crowder does this. I think Ben Shapiro kind of does this as well. And then they go into their premium services. So you'll get one free live stream per week. If you want to watch the other 3 to 4, okay, the goal is to have 4, but sometimes there's going to be things that happen. If you want the other 3 to 4 live streams, you've got to be a premium subscriber over on Podbean, okay? But that will also get you access to the Fake News Flash, Coffee with Casey, and other stuff that we have coming, okay? Oh, cool. Very cool. I look forward to seeing William's piece. Let's see. Lady that's the head of the hairdressers licensing board has issued that no salon can sell products during the time of quarantine. They are not doing hair. They can't sell products, but Walmart can. That's ridiculous. My God, that's so stupid. Do we have to wait till next week to sign up, or can we do it tonight? You can do it tonight. Here's the thing that I don't know. So, like, if you go to... I need to figure this out, okay? So, on Podbean, like, if you go to my podcast, all right, which is CaseyTheHost.podbean.com, you will see in the sidebar there, okay, you will see that there are premium plans, okay? Now, there's an annual pass. There's an admin-only plan. Don't use that one unless you're an admin, and then talk to me first on Discord about that. And then you've got, your conscript, your regular, your veteran, your tier 1 operator. Okay, those are all your different tiers. If you want to sign up for one of those, you absolutely can. What I don't know is if somebody who wants to do like the higher tier plan for $15 a month, if you want an annual option, I'm happy to put one together for you so you can save a little money. I just haven't done that. Okay, so it really kind of depends on the demand for the big ones, the more expensive plans. But you can certainly sign up right now. Okay, they're live, they're ready to go. If you wanted to get one of the higher plans other than the entry level plan, if you wanted to do that, but you wanted a discount for paying a year up front, just hit me up on Discord and I'll be happy to go ahead and do that for you. Okay. All right. And I'll be making a video kind of explaining all of this too, and put it up there so everybody has kind of an explainer on what's happening. And thank you, Daniel, for posting about my coffee, Casey's Burning Brew, which is phenomenal coffee, by the way. Somebody else just posted on Discord that they got a bag of it. I wonder how they liked it. Yeah, the stay-at-home thing is getting a little out of hand, without a doubt. So, all right. I think that's right about it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Again, please, if you're on YouTube, even though I'm demonetized and they do everything they can to kind of jack with me, the more subscribers I have, the better. If you're on Facebook, the goal is to get to at least 10,000 likes on the page. And if we get to 10,000 likes on Facebook at facebook.com/CaseyTheHost, we'll be able to do other stuff. That opens up some different features for the live streams for me as well. So again, if you are not following me on any one of my social media platforms that you are a part of, please do so. On YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook at Casey the Host. Okay? If you're on Twitter, it's at RealKCH. Make sure you follow me on those accounts and help me grow. All right? And then, of course, spread it around, and make sure you tell people about it. And share the stream, like the stream, subscribe, all of that stuff. It all helps, and I appreciate the support. In the meantime, I got to go get prepared for the radio show on 95.3 MNC coming up in just a couple of minutes. If you are going to be able to tune into that, go to the Discord server, and you can join the live chat channel where we chat with each other throughout the radio show on Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord server, you need to be. Okay, that is important for you to be a member of the Discord server. Again, totally free, but the Discord server also is a great community of listeners of the radio show to hang out all the time. You don't need me to be there. It's kind of its own community, and it has done a really, really good thing. Talk at you on Discord too, Kathy. Thank you very much. Same Sam. Tried last week, never got a confirmation that it went through. For what? What did you try to do? I missed it, John. What did you try to do for the confirmation? See if I can help you out. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. Yeah, you can listen to the radio show on Discord as well, and just make sure you mute that microphone. Thanks for the Discord invite, Alex. Appreciate that. I missed what John had tried to do that he didn't get confirmation for, so. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Was he having issues with Podbean? It may not have been fully set up because there's a patron program and then there's a premium program, and I didn't realize they were different. So I want people to use the premium program and not the patron program. And that's what's in the sidebar right now. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Cool deal. I'm going to bounce on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to go to silverfoxart.com. And once again, use the coupon code BananaFace25 when you make your inquiry to silverfoxart.com, and they will give you a discount. And if you're a veteran, you also get 10% off. And, of course, make sure you let them know that you heard about it through this program. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bounce on out of here. And if you haven't seen the work from silverfoxart.com yet, this is wood art And in fact, the piece that you're about to see is a half-inch thick, okay? It's three-dimensional, it's backlit, it's amazing, and they just do phenomenal work. When you go to the website, you'll see exactly what I am talking about. All right, folks, have a wonderful afternoon. We'll chat at you in just a little bit on 95.3 MNC.